Even after playing over 12 hours of Monster Hunter World, I still died while hunting my final monster. A lot. Now, some people have already jumped straight to the comments following my opening sentence, or maybe they didn't make it past the headline. But for those of you who've actually read this far, I'll answer my headline outright: Monster Hunter World is not too hard. With the caveat that I played a still in development build of the game and just made it through the opening section, my deaths in the game felt important. I learned from them. I learned how to better use my weapons, I learned how to take advantage of my environment, and most importantly, I learned how to read my monstrous opponent's all-important tells. Capcom recently flew a group of journalists out to Monster Hunter's Osaka development office to play the beginning missions of Monster Hunter World and to talk with the developers about the game. I got some insight into what happened to the underwater levels, and I also asked about whether the increasingly popular loot box system might make its way to the series. But the question longtime fans of the series have had is whether Monster Hunter World, as both first Monster Hunter game available worldwide at the same time and the first game on a Sony or Microsoft home console in a very long time, is going to dial back on its infamously complex battle system in order to be more approachable. From what I've played of Monster Hunter World, it does feel like a more friendly game for new players. A revamped training area makes it easy to experiment with new weapons and loadouts. A hunting guide lays out the weak points and loot tables for the monsters you face. And you can call for help from online friends and strangers even if you're in the middle of a hunt. But Monster Hunter World also retains its signature challenge and depth, the elements that have made it such an enduring franchise. And it does that while expanding the scope of the game dramatically. I'm told that the dozen hours I played are just a small slice of the game. The trailer showed at Paris Games Week revealed what was almost a completely new set of monsters from the ones I fought, and the environments in that trailer were a world apart from the ones that I'd played around in. Ryozo Tsujimoto, producer on Monster Hunter World, tells me, "There is still a lot more for you to see. You are still at the start of your journey here." And when he says, "There's no question, it's the biggest Monster Hunter project to date," it's easy to believe him. Death and failure are a natural part of exploring this massive new world. It's more that the game cycle will ramp up the difficulty where you're gonna hit a wall. Then you're gonna have to examine what you need to do to clear that wall, says Tsujimoto. As an experience, Monster Hunter is about going back to creatures you've bested before, and fighting them again. But you're repeating that process not just to get better items that you can turn into new weapons and armor, but to hone your skills. Even though you failed the quest, we don't want it to feel unfair, Tsujimoto says. It has to be something where you realize that, oh, I need to do better next time. Next time you jump in, you're gonna see that move coming, you're gonna read that tell better, and you're gonna say this is my time to get out of the way and then I'm gonna attack. And then the satisfaction of having improved on that is really a key part of the Monster Hunter experience. The first hard wall I hit in my playthrough was the Anjanath, a hulking Tyrannosaurus-like creature that far outclassed the power level of previous creatures I'd fought. While in a normal playthrough, I probably would have taken a little more time in getting to him. For this event I plowed through the normal story events and avoided most side missions. So my patchwork collection of armor and a so-so weapon meant that, if I got hit at just the wrong time, the Anjanath could completely knock me with one shot and I could do little to retaliate. Those answers will only come when the game comes out, but the foundation is already there for an experience that builds on what makes Monster Hunter unique, while still evolving the franchise for a new audience.